First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to this very exciting and long-awaited event. Last week we were excited to break ground for the new Norwalk High School, and this week, we are here to announce or to break ground for the new South Norwalk School, something that we have been talking about and getting ready to do for quite some time now, and the day is finally here. So I'd like to just... We have many of our partners here, our Common Council people. Common Council people, can you acknowledge, you raise your hand, here you are, thank you. Members of our Board of Education are here also, I believe. Walking up. Our state delegation is here. And others will be acknowledged as we move forward. So this is an exciting day, and I said this because since 1970, or during the 70s, when Norwalk closed down the Nathaniel Ely School, the young students in South Norwalk, the young scholars, have not had a neighborhood school. And not having the neighborhood school is a tremendous hindrance, just a total inconvenience, because they have to wake up in the morning, get on a bus, drive all the way across town to go to a school, then come back in the afternoon. They can't partake in after-school activities because they need the transportation. Their neighbor may go to a different school than them. But all that is about to change. When this school is finally completed, I believe in August 2025, up to 680 students will be able to attend this school from pre-K to fifth grade. And that is going to be an amazing thing for them. You know, Norwalk has shown our commitment through partnerships with our state delegation to education. So far, in the past couple of years, we've renovated a new Jefferson School. We've built a new Cranberry School. We built onto Ponus Ridge. Now we're building a new Norwalk High School and a new South Norwalk School, which is yet to be named. But that doesn't end there. We're going to continue because we have a 25-year school plan in partnership with our Board of Education and our Norwalk Public Schools to renovate Norwalk's aging, falling apart schools. They're going to be state-of-the-art and give our young people, give our teachers a state-of-the-art school in which to teach and learn. And we're so excited about that. So I would like to introduce our next speaker, who is a wonderful partner in all this and totally committed to education, Dr. Alexandra Estrella.
Good morning, everyone. The mayor said it well, what a day. Not only do we have an eclipse, in many traditions, eclipses are seen as an opportunity for change, and Norwalk is in the beginning of transformational change for South Norwalk. Not only because this school, like the mayor articulated, I think we kind of copycatted on our speech. We have very similar points, but I can't say it enough. Right, we can't say it enough. It's important to articulate that back in 1970, South Norwalk was left without a school to call a community school for its students here. And through that process, scholars had the unfortunate experience of having to travel 45 to an hour and a half to get to school. And in many cases, many of our families don't have private transportation to be able to visit their school sites and engage in the community in ways that others have been able to throughout Norwalk. So I want that to sit in a little bit for people here, because what's happening around us right now is going to be transformational for the families and children of Norwalk. To have a place that they can come to, engage, celebrate during the school day, but also after school, see this as a place of community convening and coming together, which is critical in any community. An opportunity to beautify South Norwalk even further so that students can have access to amazing facilities beyond the school day is something to celebrate. So I want to thank a few people, because this wouldn't be possible then without the help of many that are here today. First and foremost, I want to thank Senator Bob Duff for his work in making sure that we receive 60% reimbursement. This is the first school under that new paradigm that will save an enormous amount of money to taxpayers across our community, but also facilitate the ability for us to do the unimaginable, right? Because there was so much work put forward to making today possible, and we're here. I remember when I started applying as a superintendent, Sherelle Harris at the time was a board member and asked me about this exact project. And I was committed that day to make sure that I worked with all the people around us here to make this possible for the children of Norwalk. And I am so excited that we are here today. I also want to take a moment to thank our mayor for having the vision to see what is possible and sometimes situations that seem impossible. Because we wouldn't be here today without his vision and foresight. I want to thank the Common Council members that have helped put this today. Particularly, I want to give a special thanks to Tom Levinson, who at the time was part of land use when this project started. Councilwoman Darlene Young, who has been instrumental in the work here in District B. We've had a number of conversations about the importance of this work and what this means to the community. So thank you. I also want to take a moment to thank Barbara Smith, who has continued the work with land use in making this work feasible. And I will be remiss if I don't highlight Sandra Fayois, a member of my team, who works alongside Alan Lowe and his team to make today a possibility. And there's countless other individuals that have been working with us to make this possible. I also want to highlight my Board of Education. I see some members here. Can you please stand so people can see you? Some of you are sitting, for being part of this project. I can't be a good superintendent without the support of an amazing board, so thank you for the work that you do. And with that, I want to end with thanking all of you who have made today possible, because we are transforming the lives of children every day. And doing this project in particular will build community in ways that are unimaginable, will allow students to call home this ground right here where they can walk to and from school and have their families be intricate members of their experience, because it is critical that our families are completely involved in the learning process of our scholars. And this project makes that possible. So thank you, and I'm looking forward to what this is going to how this is transforming the lives of our children.
Thank you, Dr. Estrella. Earlier, I mentioned all the different schools that we were building or adding on to or renovating. For the first time ever in the city of Norwalk, when we built the Cranberry School, we had a project labor agreement working with the trades unions. I want to thank you all because you've done a tremendous job with that school, and we look forward to that continued relationship. So thank you very much. Thank you. Now I'd like to call forward our Common Council President, Ms. Darlene Young, who lives in District B, and welcome her to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if it's afternoon yet, but what a beautiful day. Again, I keep following people who keep taking everything away from me, saying the things that I like to say, but that's why we're here, because we're all on the same page. And as the mayor mentioned, I live right up the hill there. So this, for us, is important. And I have to say that this project didn't just start 5 years ago. These conversations started in 2015, and it has taken that long for us to get here. But we've had some committed folks, and I know we talked about all the officials, the elected folks, and people that this is our job, and this is what we do, and we're committed to that. But what really has happened well before that was a groundswell of residents who were concerned about the new school. And not only about what a new school meant and will mean for this community, because we all know schools and neighborhoods create community. And that's what you need. And we were missing that for a very, very long time, decades. And so I just want to acknowledge those folks, those everyday folks who are activists. I have Martha Dumas, who is here, representing South Norwalk. She and her husband, Ernie Dumas, have been champions in this community for very long. We had a committee of folks that were talking about, it's not just the building. What are we going to produce out of this school? And we have to make sure that the young people, because this is primary, let's be honest, a black and brown school. And we have to make sure that our children are prepared to meet what's going to happen in the 21st century and beyond. And so that is what I'm most grateful about. But as I sit here also, and I look at Reverend Curtis and Reverend Clark and Reverend Ewell here, and we've had so many more people who were dedicated to this. Former State Representative Bruce Morris, who championed this as well, who I don't see out here, but there have been so many people who have been committed to this, and we can't get here without that. And I'm so proud to be a part of this, and we can't wait for this to be done. It's going to be beautiful, and we can't imagine what it's going to mean for the city and for our children, but it's going to mean great things. And we have to make sure that what comes out of this school are going to be the future movers and shakers for moving forward for our community. Thank you.
Also, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of former Mayor Alex Knott. Thank you for being here. Now, as Councilwoman Young just acknowledged, one of the champions for this project, who is always asking about it, among the other IMF members, is Reverend Roosevelt Ewell. I'd like you to come forward and have a few words.
Well, it wouldn't be fitting if I wouldn't act as if I belong to a church. So the first thing I think we all ought to do is just stand up and give a wonderful applause for the wonderful, marvelous work about to take place right here. So you can all just stand with me and let's give a round of applause for the great work, the committees, and all the individuals that have been involved with this here groundbreaking ceremony. Thank you so much. Much could be said, and much probably need to be said. But today I think the most important thing to say that I think Norwalk need to understand how much this means to the minority community. To see the commitment of a city that cares about the people of the city. That they would invest into a school in the community that our student can be able to have less time traveling and more time being educated. This project, this movement have come about from the hard labor of so many in the minority community. And I first of all want to take the opportunity to applaud all of those who have poured into the commitment, the meeting, the laboring, the research, and everything else it took to make that possible. So thank all of you who have applied yourself to this commitment. People like the NAACP, when the Reverend Dr. Lindsay Curtis was president of that. People like the IMF, when the Reverend Dr. Clark was president of that. All these organizations have worked tirelessly to try to see this come to flourishing. And today we celebrate on the eve of celebrating it together. But also I want to even give another shout out. I want to give a shout out to the entire administration of the city of Norwalk. Because not only do you realize that the minority community needed a school so that young boys and girls will be able to spend more time in the classroom than traveling back and forth. They will be able to go to the classroom more bright eyes and not have to go being busted 45 minutes and being tired by the time they got to school. But they could walk to school and to be ready to start learning early in the morning. So I want to thank the city of Norwalk, the mayor, the superintendent, the board of education, the common council, and all those that make up the city of Norwalk administration and the government, especially Senator Bob Duff, for all the labor and commitment that you work together to make this happen. Lastly, I want to say this. Norwalk, you're a true example of the fact that it takes a village to raise a child. And we are that village. Let's raise our children together. Thank you so much.
So as Reverend Ewell was saying, you know, it's been 50 years. We've been waiting for this for 50 years. Far too long. Far too long. Now I would like to call a special person who is a 5th grader at Marvin Elementary School, but he lives in South Norwalk. Lincoln Almonte Martinez, to come on up and address the crowd and talk about what this might mean for a student like him.
Hello everyone, my name is Lincoln Almonte Martinez. I am a 5th grade student at Marvin Elementary School. I spent all 6 years of school riding bus 419 from Monterey Place across the bridge into East Norwalk to Marvin. Well, I have enjoyed my years at Marvin. I like my principal, the teachers, and the amazing friends I have made. I think about how things would have been different if I didn't have to ride a bus across town and instead could have spent time attending school in my old neighborhood. All the kids who live around me go to different schools. If there was a school in my neighborhood, I could have walked home from school. Instead, I have spent 40 minutes each day for 6 years straight riding the bus. And while I like riding the bus because it gives me time to talk to my friends, it sometimes gets me in trouble. Kids growing up in South Norwalk today will soon have a brand new school in their neighborhood, and they will attend with the lucky kids who live near them. They are the lucky ones. Thank you.
Very well done. Nothing more powerful than a personal testimony. We can stand up here all day and talk about what these poor young people went through. But when Lincoln gets up here, he tells you, I had to go through it. So, Lincoln, thank you for sharing your thoughts. As we talked before, you know, this just doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens with partnerships, people working hard, people sharing a vision, and making things happen. So I'd like to welcome to the City of Norwalk the Deputy Commissioner Charles Hughes, the Connecticut State Department of Education.
Thank you, Mayor. And I just want to say, before I begin, thank you to Lincoln and the families and the parents who day after day spent time, energy, and effort to ensure that students got to school and were able to be educated, and all the energy that it takes to get up early in the morning, to take a long ride to school, to spend a full day at school, and then back again. That certainly deserves congratulations. So good morning, Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz, Senator Duff, Mayor Rilling, Superintendent Estrella, State Reps Roberts and Johnson, President Young, Norwalk City Council members, and Board of Ed members. It's my honor to stand here before you today to represent the State Department of Education and the support for the groundbreaking of the new South School. This is a significant moment for the community, and I'm grateful to be a part of it. I want to extend my sincere appreciation to Mayor Rilling, Majority Leader Duff, President Young, Superintendent Estrella, and Chair Caprio for their dedication and leadership in making this project a reality. The opening of the new South Norwalk School represents a wonderful opportunity for Norwalk's children and families. As you've heard today already, this is something that has been long in the waiting and is now being realized. It's not just about the bricks and mortar, though. It's about creating a nurturing environment where every child can thrive and each to their fullest potential. We all know the importance of education and shaping a future of a young child. By investing in this new school, Norwalk is investing in the success and the well-being of generations to come. It's a decision that speaks volumes about this city's dedication and commitment to excellence and progress. This groundbreaking symbolizes a new chapter, a chapter of growth, innovation, and possibility. So as we gather here today, let's celebrate this milestone and look forward to the bright future that lies ahead. Thank you very much.
Also, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of a few other people. Second Taxing District Commissioner David Westmoreland. We are in the 2nd District. Teachers Union President Mary Jordan. Norwalk Housing Authority Director Adam Bovilsky. And my Chief of Economic and Community Development, Jess Vodashek. Thank you all for being a part of this. You know, we talk about people that work hard on behalf of the city, who bring money into the city, who works so hard, diligently, tirelessly, day in and day out, trying to work together with my administration, working with the state delegation, and he's done a remarkable job. One of the things that he did when Norwalk used to get about 32% a reimbursement rate for building schools, we now get 60% reimbursement rate out for 25 years. So that's an amazing accomplishment, and as Dr. Estrella mentioned, it will save the city taxpayers millions and millions and millions of dollars. So we couldn't do it without him, and I want to give him a big shout out, a great round of applause for the Senate Majority Leader, Norwalk native, who worked so hard on our behalf.
Well, good morning, everybody, and it's great to be here. This week is South Norwalk School Week. Last week was Norwalk High School. Sandra, what's next week? Or Alan, what are we doing? And I'm going to try not to choke up today, as I did last week. So bear with me, but I can't guarantee it. I think 40 years ago, we can debate whether or not it was a good idea to close down a South Norwalk school. We can argue that there was probably not good equity or equality here in South Norwalk as there might have been in the rest of the city or the rest of the schools. But over 40 years, we would hope that our community would advance enough that opening a neighborhood school is the right thing to do, and we can make a promise and a guarantee to the residents of this area that there will be equity and equality for all of our students, every single one of them, who attend Norwalk Public Schools. And I think that's why we've seen here today that there are so many people who have worked so hard over the years to bring this school here today, to have this groundbreaking on this spot today. That it's not just elected officials, it's not just folks in our state or our city, but it's really neighbors who said the time has come to make sure our students have a place to go to school in their backyard, like so many other kids have done across the city of Norwalk. And when I think about the fact that we have students who were considered District 99s, who were displaced basically from a school, who's one student on one side of the street or in one apartment could go to Cranberry Elementary School, and another student on the same street could go to Marvin Elementary School. How does that possibly build a community in which you want to live? How does that educate our children the way we want them to be educated? And the answer is it doesn't, which is why we're here today. And why this project is so important and why so many people are with us. We should never, ever have tolerated to have District 99s, nor should we ever tolerate not every student reaching their potential and getting the best education possible. And when I think about those houses over there, and the fact that students, and when I think about those houses over there, and the fact that moms and dads can walk their kids across the street to school rather than putting them on a bus to maybe take them 45 minutes away to the other end of the city, makes me feel good. Makes me feel like we're doing the right thing here today. And so that's why it's so important that everybody has come together to work for the betterment of our community. And I want to thank a lot of people. I won't go through the whole list again because I think so many folks have been thanked, but really want to thank my colleague, Kadeem Roberts, State Representative. I want to thank because he understood how important this was. Mayor, you are to be commended for this because, as has been said already, this has been talked about for such a long time. And if it wasn't for the mayor's leadership in saying we're going to have a school in South Norwalk, we wouldn't be here. So thank you, Mayor, for all you've done. You can't do this. People say, when we broke ground last week for Norwalk High School, people say, well, how come this hasn't been done sooner? Because you cannot do this without a superintendent, Dr. Estrella, a board of education, a city council, and a mayor who agree that these are the kinds of things we need to prioritize. This is where we're going to spend our precious dollars, in schools. And frankly, we should be building schools all across the state of Connecticut. You go around, you can clap for that, yes. You go around and you see schools that are too old and too antiquated, and we should be building schools all across the state of Connecticut that are state-of-the-art, where we want our kids to learn, we want them to do well, and we want them to succeed in this economy. And so we have everybody who's working together on this. Thank you to Sandra, to Alan, and all the others who have done so much to bring us here today, our building trades, our teachers, really everyone who has done so much. I want to also just mention, as the mayor said, that this new reimbursement formula, it's a $78 million school. This new reimbursement formula is going to save the city of Norwalk about $29 million, having a 60% reimbursement versus a 22.5% reimbursement, which allows the city to do other priorities and meet like flooding or other types of things that may not have been possible before. So before this, the state would have kicked in $17.5 million, and the city would have had to kick in $60 million. Under this new formula, the state is kicking in $46 million, and the city is kicking in $31.2 million. That is much fairer, much more equitable for the people of the city of Norwalk. So again, I want to thank the delegation of Norwalk. I want to thank our leadership in the Senate, Senator Looney, our leadership in the House, Governor Lamont, for all their help. I'm so glad Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz is here today, because she was always cheering us on as we were working to get this formula through the legislature. This is a celebration for everybody, but this is a celebration mostly for the children of the city of Norwalk. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Duff. You know, when you invest in our children, you get a greater return on your investment than you would for any stock, any bond, because you're investing in the future of the country. And this is going to change lives. This is an amazing place that they will be able to go and learn and be relaxed and just have a safe environment. And all this couldn't be possible without leadership from the top. And a friend of the city of Norwalk, and not only that, a friend of the entire state of Connecticut, a person who works very hard, well known throughout the state, well respected throughout the state, and we are so glad to have her as a partner. We are so glad to have her here, Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you so much, and good morning, everyone. What a pleasure to be here on a beautiful day, on a historic day for Norwalk. Governor Lamont sends his regards from Phoenix, where he will be cheering on the Yukon Huskies. Yay! Let's not forget that Connecticut is, without question, the basketball capital of the world. Absolutely. So the governor sends his regards and greetings, and we know that partnerships between our state and our local governments have the power to transform communities. And we're so proud to be part of this celebration of a $46 million investment in the future of Norwalk, in the incredible students who will have the opportunity shortly to attend this neighborhood school. Now, I will tell you that there is always very strong competition amongst communities who want major investments from the state for schools and for other public buildings. And we're here today, and the governor was here last week, because we believe in Norwalk's leadership. We believe in the state delegation led by Senator Bob Duff, who is the majority leader in our state Senate, and the whole team of legislators that represent Norwalk. And we also believe in the leadership of Mayor Rilling, because we know that every dollar that the state invests will be spent efficiently and effectively with the children of Norwalk top of mind. And we are so pleased to work alongside of them. And we were also very pleased to invest in this project because it addresses past inequities. And it was time to ensure that students who live in this neighborhood have the opportunity to attend a beautiful state-of-the-art school, and they'll be able to walk, and it'll be easy for parents to drop their kids off. It'll be easy for parents to participate in their learning, and it's going to be a great opportunity for 580 kids to start right here when this beautiful school is built. I want to give a shout out to my friends in the building trades. The other reason that the governor and I wanted to invest in this project is because we know that our state dollars are most effectively spent when we spend them in partnership with our building and construction trades, because we know if there's a PLA that the project will get done on time, on budget, and that you will get a state-of-the-art building that is very safe and very beautiful. So a round of applause for our building trades. And I also want to thank our teachers and paraprofessionals that work so hard every day to make sure that our kids have the best education possible. And I am so very proud to represent all of you in Hartford every day with Governor Lamont. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
And for those of you who said it will take an earthquake and an eclipse before this happens, here we are. So now, the moment we've all been waiting for is that ceremonial tossing of the dirt to the groundbreaking for the brand new South Norwalk Elementary School. Thank you.
2, 3. Yeah, one more. We have to stay here until this whole pile's gone.